AFTV Lee, very disappointing 0-0 draw. We just couldn't break them down, could we?
No, couldn't break them down. It's been happening too much, if I'll be honest, at home games. Too much. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Like, you know, 1 game, 2 games, yeah, you can understand it, but it's every game bar the Chelsea game, and that is because Chelsea have got a little bit about them, want to attack us. The other teams that sit in and defend, we haven't got the goal to break them down. We haven't got the players to break them down, and the tactics as well. So, you know, this is not the first time. I see it against Newcastle on Saturday in the FA Cup. We didn't break them down after 90 minutes, which would be a point for Newcastle if it was a league game. The same tonight, you know. You got to give Crystal Palace credit. They defended really, really well.
And in the first half, they had the 2 best chances.
And created the best chances. And you would have to go and say that Newcastle had a couple of gilt-edged chances against us in the cup game. We've got fortunate. Tonight we got fortunate again. But the fact of the matter is the personnel, the players are not good enough, and the tactics and that are not good enough neither.
Yeah, you know, before the game started, obviously, it was a big blow to not have Kieran Tierney in there. No Pablo Mari in there either. But, you know, defensively, I guess we played okay. But just, like you said, we missed a player like Kieran Tierney, innit? Who could get down the flanks, you know, get a whip across in. There was nothing really like that. Again, it's that creativity problem, isn't it?
Yeah, and you're looking at your creativity like from fullbacks. You know, Bellerin today was probably our most attacking player. You know, we don't want that, Robbie. We don't want him
no, but
being...
Liverpool do that, don't they?
Yeah,
Liverpool,
but I don't care. But Liverpool got a better fullback.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Liverpool create a lot down the flanks, right? So I'm saying that, you know, and even a lot of times you watch Man City, how they're able to break teams down is they use the width. But tonight, there was no width from Arsenal.
No, there isn't no width.
We got balls down the sides, but we just kept cutting back in all the time.
We haven't got wide players like Crystal Palace had today, and we haven't got wide players like Manchester City and Liverpool as well, where Zaha and Mane, like they go wide. Also, like Sterling goes wide, or Mahrez. You know, we've got players like Aubameyang that are looking always to cut inside all the time, you know, cutting inside to the traffic where all the play is. When you've got blocks of 4, when you're playing 4-4-1-1 or 4-5-1, whatever system you do, what they want you to do is to go into that traffic, to go into where all their players are, and that's exactly the way we're playing it. I looked at the game today. Have a look at it with Bellerin. He's playing it inverted again. We don't want that. You want it to be out wide, and that's where the problems go from. Tierney today was a massive loss because he is one player that will go out the wide, but we didn't have the balance because, again, you know, with the decision of playing Maitland-Niles here, he's going to cut inside all the time, playing to what they want. It wasn't till we brought on Saka and played him at left back, which is probably what we should have done in the first place. But then, you know, you've got the thing is where you're playing somebody that's playing really, really well. It's a difficult thing to do. You know, we've got 3 players that can play right back, and we've got 1 left back. You know, the balance of the side is all wrong. It's all wrong. It's all wrong. We'll probably end up in this transfer window with 6 goalkeepers. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the balance of the whole squad is wrong. Now, you know, what we wanted to do was, you know, we're 14 days into this transfer window at the moment, and we've got rid of Kolasinac, who could play left back. I'm not saying he could do a good job, but at the end of the day, could be, you know, so you've unbalanced it even more. You know, and you know, I've got to say about the Pablo Mari thing. I know, I'll see it's a joke and everything, like, you know, but if he plays today, it costs Arsenal £1 million. You know, and all of a sudden he's played 4 games, not not being injured or whatever. All of a sudden he's got a tight calf. You know.
So you reckon that was sinister?
Oh well, you know, he's been playing really, really well. 4 games in, he's been playing really, really well. You know, and all of a sudden I don't hear anything before the game about these injuries and what. I know they're not going to reveal it and all that, but as far as I know, he was training. I see him training on the in the videos and things like that. It's just, it worries me, Robbie, when I see things like that. And I was laughing and joking about it today. Everybody put Mari in their side. Everybody out here today said, "Oh no, we can't bring Gabriel back in." you know. And then to leave Mara out, he doesn't bring in Gabriel, who's been our best defender. You know, there are issues at this football club that are just not beyond results, you know. But the fact of the matter is, I don't care who you are, if you cannot win games at home at a football club, you've got to do something about this. Manager now has had, this is what's, how many home games is it? We've won 1 against Chelsea, you know, like we've lost a few, we've drawn a few now. Yeah, it's not acceptable.
Do you think it's because of the lack of fans there, that's really changed the dynamic at home?
I think it's changed, the lack of fans has changed the whole concept of football. You know, the coronavirus has done that as well, you know what I mean? You've got like, listen, you've got teams like Newcastle that were doing okay, and then they get a load of COVID things and they haven't recovered from it. You know, Fulham are in the same boat, and it'd be interesting to see how Aston Villa are going to do it. But all teams are getting COVID situations now. You know, Southampton have got one this game. So I don't know if it is COVID or whatever, but they're not saying it is. So it's hard to manage. I get that. It's hard to manage. It's hard to manage when you ain't got no fans. There's loads of, it must be hard even for the most experienced managers to go through what they're going through. So I'll give him a little bit of slack from that. But also with the fans not being there, Robbie, one thing is, and the Emirates crowd is, as you well know, can get on your back a little bit. So they're not getting on their back. So from that point of view, he's having an easy ride. He's having an easy ride, because I can tell you that now, there wouldn't be no one clapping at the end of that game today. They'll be letting him know what's going on, like that. So, you know, so at this moment in time, as yes, I think that it is an influence on it, I also believe that it's helping him because he's getting an easy ride.
Finally, transfer window is still open. What do we need?
Well, I think it's there. It's plain there, plain, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, there's 2 weeks of this transfer window to go, and the Arsenal fan base does amaze me. Like, we have a couple of wins, we don't need no one now. I see headlines that Smith Rowe's going to save us a fortune and all things like that. Come on, we're not good enough. The team is not good enough. It needs improving. We've got an opportunity because, funny enough, it is January when the transfer window is open. Do something. Because I can tell you that now, Robbie, if they do not do nothing, be prepared for a lot more nights like tonight, particularly at home, because we've not got the creativity to break teams down.